All right, Steph, this has been cooking. All the flavors are coming together. It's hearty, and it's somewhat healthy. We got sausage in there.
Well, there's kale in there.
There's kale in there.
That's got to count for something, right?
And red peppers in there. And speaking of red peppers, right now is a great time. Talk about these beautiful red peppers.
Great time to buy them. You know, it's getting warmer out. And you know what I like about red peppers is you can slice them up and keep them in like a Ziploc bag as a healthy snack throughout the day.
Yeah.
They hold up really well. But when you buy them, you want to make sure they have a nice, shiny red skin. With these, they're red bell peppers.
Right.
And the thing that a lot of people, I feel like, and I even do this too, you want to check the weight. They should be heavy for their size because that means these walls are very well hydrated. Obviously free from any shriveling, and this right here should be a nice bright green.
Now, that was a great tip, I got to tell you. And one more thing about the red bell peppers, I tell you what, 330% of the vitamin C you need for the day. They are a superfood.
They are, and you would never know it.
Beautiful. And kale, while this is cooking up, and a quick little tip on kale. Kale at one time was just a produce item that, you know, not a lot of people bought all the time, but now it's so trendy. Every restaurant you go to, somewhere on the menu, one or two dishes has kale on it.
It does, and it's everywhere in the stores. And you know what? That means we have two superfoods in here.
That's right, two superfoods. When you buy your kale, you want to make sure it's nice and green like this, free from any yellowing whatsoever. If there's any yellowing, do not buy it. Just leave it right there on the counter. And when you bring them home, store it in the refrigerator right away, but never wash it before you store it, but always wash it before you enjoy it. And that is one superfood. What do we got going here, Steph?
Absolutely. So in here, what we did was we cut up that sweet and spicy sausage.
Okay.
We have two, just for the flavor dimension. We cooked that, we took it out, then we added in our peppers and our onions and then our kale. Now, when you cook vegetables that way, they create their own stock.
Beautiful.
Which is fantastic. But just to up it up a little bit, we added a smidge of chicken stock, and then we put the sausage right back in here, and then we added in some cannellini beans.
Perfect. And the onions we use are sweet Vidalia onions loaded with flavor. Now I'm going to spice this up just a little bit right here with a little bit of pepper.
Seasoning's always very important.
And because we do have some hot sausage, I'm going to add just a little bit more. Is that all right? I mean,
of course it's okay with me.
Okay, perfect. A little bit more heat to it. Give it some flavor.
I hope it's okay with everybody else.
Just a touch of salt, but there's sausage again in there, which releases a lot of its own fat and salt. And we're going to put just a little bit on there.
When you have something like that, don't overdo it with the salt, but you do need it for flavor.
Perfect. Now, as you can see, it's all coming together. The cannellini beans we put almost at the end, huh?
Yeah, but you know what? Because they're a heavy starch, so you don't want them to release too much of that. You just want them to kind of heat up and get up to temperature with everything else. Perfect. But always drain and rinse them because, again, they're sitting in a lot of sodium.
And taste as you go. All right, now I think it's time we plate this.
That's the most important tip of this whole day. Taste as you go.
Taste as you go. So I think it's time to plate this. I'm going to put it right here on the plate.
There we go. Nice big plate for
family
everybody.
style. We have a lot of people in the studio.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Is this part off? And we're going to put a little bit of pecorino romano, shaved pecorino romano.
I love shaved.
I was just going to say I love shaved.
It just feels a little bit better.
It does.
And that's it.
Maybe because it's more of it, Andrea. That might be why we like it.
Anything's
better with a little Parmesan cheese.
Everything.
Smells
there you go.
Delicious.
Family style.
We're going to try that in just a couple minutes. But